Good evening, everybody. Before I get started with that, and I lost this paper already. Actually, I just wanted to thank a couple of people here before we forget why we are here, and that would be Legislator Jeanette Provenzano, who was my deputy chair on is my deputy chair on the Health Committee. She took great part in this Lyme Disease Advisory Committee, as well as Booty, who, well, we know her as Booty, we can't pronounce her last name. There she is. Booty, you want to stand up, Dave?
Sure, thank you.
She did a tremendous amount of work. I'd like to have a hand for Jeanette, too. And actually, we worked on a report. The report came out, I just saw it just this second. And this would be submitted to the Health Department. Okay, so why don't we get going? It is said that the mystery, the wonder, and the power of Mother Nature. Think about this. The bite from an infected tit, the suck tit. Oh boy. You know, I had a really bad migraine yesterday, so just bear with me. Oh boy, that's a good one, isn't it? That is pleasant. All right, listen, I'm trying to say that the bite from an infected tit poppy seeds remains, debilitates, and eventually kills a 200-pound man. In a sense, modern day Goliath and David and Goliath. I'm really sorry about this, but I've been ill. This, my friends, is Lyme disease. I have known Doreen Peone for about 35 years. And my wife and I have watched her mature from a very young woman to a mother of three. We saw her overcome insurmountable personal odds in midlife, only to come back a much stronger woman. The worst was a fire that destroyed her home and nearly took the lives of her two daughters. Her son Vince was away at college at the time. Her father was awakened by a smoke alarm and helped get everyone out of the house and thought he had. With her daughter still in the burning house, Doreen went back into the inferno and rescued Angie, the younger of the two. And then realizing that Dina was still in the house and ignoring police warnings, Doreen re-entered the smoke-filled and flame-gorged room until she did not come out with her older daughter, Dina, who was about 16 at the time. Both girls were badly burned, and Dina spent months at Shriners Hospital in Boston and endured numberless surgeries and burn-related afflictions. As I recall, Angie was also there, but not as in serious condition as her sister. Doreen sometimes traveled daily to Boston and talked to Dina, who was comatose. Nurses and staff told Doreen it was futile, but Dina came out of it on her birthday. While this was going on, a contractor was trying to put the house back together to no avail. He left a flame hole in the roof without a cover. A couple of days of heavy rain, the house was totally destroyed and filled with mold. The contractor took off with the insurance money Doreen had given him. That night, my wife and I heard a knock at the door. I opened it to find Doreen standing in the pouring rain, soaked, dazed, and crying. We asked her in, got her dried off, but were unable to do anything to comfort her. The next day, she returned to Boston to be with Dina. The house had to be torn down. It was horrible for my wife and I to watch. Miraculously, Dina and Angie survived, and thanks to the outpouring generosity of our community, including and especially Michael Provenzano, that could be Legislator Fabiano's daughter, Doreen, and her family are living, and her son, I'm sorry. Doreen and her family, I better go to the doctor, are living in a new home. They moved back torn and tattered, but not beaten. About 2 years later, my wife and I were having dinner, and I was just home from the hospital myself. And we noticed that Doreen was being held by 2 people in order to stand and to walk. She became afflicted with other symptoms until finally, after more than a year, was diagnosed with Lyme disease. During her struggle and eventual recovery, she became a Lyme disease advocate for anyone who needed help or to just someone to talk to. Her daughters still needed treatments, and she needed to get them to Boston again. Her father, John, moved into the house, and her son, Vince is here. Vince, stand, please.
Hi.
And Dina, stand, that's Dina. She what? She's in college, okay. So Vince, her father moved into the house, and her son, Vince, would come home when time allowed as he was attending film school in New York City. It was a team effort by a close-knit family that, believe me, would not give up. Today, Vince is a producer for College Humor in New York City and has previously starred and produced a show on MTV. Angie works at Golden Hill, loves her job as a recreational aide, and is a gentle soul. She also loves the arts and is a musician and artist. Dina is a self-published writer, artist, painter, and recently finished the year at SUNY Ulster at the top of her class. Seeking and feeling all of this and recognizing that Doreen is still sick herself from Lyme disease inspired me to create and appoint her to the Ulster County Lyme Disease Advisory Committee, where she has worked tirelessly and now develops her own website for Lyme victims to access information about this debilitating disease. My wife and I have repeatedly said that she is the most inspirational woman we have ever met. Doreen continues to be an inspiration to all those who know her and is deeply, deeply loved by her family. I am very, very proud, my friends, to present Doreen with the Pride of Ulster County Award, Ulster County's highest award. Thank you very much. Pride of Ulster County, an award presented by the Ulster County Legislature to Doreen Peone in recognition of the dedication and inspiration as a mother, friend, and tireless advocate for those suffering with Lyme disease. A woman who, despite overwhelming circumstances, is a true reflection of selflessness and perseverance. This 19th day, September 2012, signed Terry Bernardo, Ulster County Legislature Chair.
Everything I was going to say just went out the window. But I'm glad I wrote something down. I'm usually not nervous speaking in front of people, but I'm having a moment here. I'll try to pronounce everything correctly, Bobby. As you can see, I am wearing lime green this evening. And it's not one of my favorite colors, but I wear it to make people aware of Lyme disease. Sometimes people look at me and go, nice green shirt. Well, the reason why I'm wearing it is because, and then I start. I am extremely honored and very grateful to receive this award this evening. Bob Aiello and his wife Chris have been witness to many of my life's adventures, both good and bad. He's been a good neighbor for over 30 years, and those are hard to find. He's always willing to listen to whatever I have to say, and last year we started talking about Lyme disease. He saw up close what it's like to be affected with Lyme disease. What happens to a person after they've been bitten with a tick? It's not fun. He felt it was time to create an advisory committee, and when he asked me to be a part of it, I was extremely grateful. I said, yes, I'd love to. Lyme is the fastest growing, most commonly reported vector-borne disease, not only here in Ulster County, but all over the world. It's becoming a major problem. No one will ever understand until they've been affected with it. It could be you, it could be a loved one, or it could be your neighbor. It's debilitating if it's not treated properly and very misunderstood by a lot of people, especially the medical professionals. It changes your life physically, mentally, and financially. Research and education is extremely important, and I did a lot of that. I educated myself, I researched, and by doing that, I found ways to help other people. When I was in my convalescent stage of my illness, I made a promise to myself, God, the universe, and my family to share what I have learned so that I can help others to the best of my ability. It gives me great pleasure to accept this award. I thank Bob, my friends, my family, and everyone who is involved in helping me get this award this evening. I thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I will do my best to continue to help others with Lyme disease. Thank you.
Would anybody else with cameras in the family want to go?